been a lightning rod for controversy over the radio airwaves, and one man has been his favorite whipping boy every step of the way. Some people love him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest radio performer of all time!
Others do not. But one thing's for sure, legendary radio personality Howard Stern is never boring.
When is the last time you had sex with Tom Brady?
Excuse me, honey, this is the United States of America. We've got freedoms here you can't even imagine.
For the past quarter century, one man has taken heat from Howard virtually every day. His producer, Gary Dell'abate.
Make sure my guests can get up here before you plan anything more with a book signing. Book signing second. Number one, how do people get in the building?
He's known as Baba Booey, and somehow he's become a pop icon in his own right.
Well, I yelled Baba Booey at Walter Cronkite's funeral.
Baba Booey, Howard Stern, Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
And now Gary Dell'abate has written a new book with an appropriate title. They Call Me Baba Booey. Gary, good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Thanks for having me.
For the unwashed, the great unwashed, the uninitiated, had to get the name Baba Booey.
Okay, very simply, I used to collect animation art. So in the 60s, there was a cartoon called Quick Draw McGraw and Baba Louie.
Right.
So during a commercial break one day, I said, I'm going to buy a Baba Booey. And everyone said, what are you going to get? And I said, a Baba Booey. So, if this were here, you'd be nice enough to correct your colleague.
No.
They waited till we got back on the air, and Howard said, what are you going to get? And I said, a Baba Booey. And he's like, you're so stupid. You don't even know the name. So that's how
it's a different work environment you're with. You are the executive producer of the show, right?
That's correct.
Tell the title. We don't even know what our executive producer does. What do you exactly do?
Jim's a good guy. My job is I book guests for the show. I oversee a bunch of other producers. And when I took the job from Howard 27 years ago, he sat me down and he said, your job is to do everything that needs to be done so that all I have to do is create. So I've always sort of followed that credo.
When people hear that you've written a book, I would imagine they're going to assume it's all about the outrageous that occurs every day in your work life. But what you've chosen to write here is actually something different. You delve into a lot of personal stories.
Right.
About your mom, dealing with mental illness, about losing a brother to AIDS. Why did you want to show people that side of you?
Well, I didn't want to write a tell-all book. I didn't think it was something that Howard would want. And
believe me.
And I don't think I would hire a person who was going to tell all the secrets. So I got offered to do a book, and my book agent said, well, what's your story? And I said, I don't have a story. But, when he asked me that, I knew exactly what he meant. So I called him back the next day and I said, well, here's my story, but I don't know that I want to tell that story. So I thought about it for a period of time. I talked to my mom, I talked to my wife, I talked to my brother, and I got to a place where I was comfortable telling it.
So is this a situation where you think people will have a different understanding for you and the show, even knowing that you're just like the rest of us? You're dealing with things at home that we all deal with.
Yeah, I think that if you're a fan of the show and you've heard me for a long time and you think you know everything about me, this is a little bit more. But for people who read the book so far, my mom was dealing with depression, but I've had people come up to me whose mom was dealing with alcoholism, or their dad was dealing with gambling, and everybody, it seems to resonate with people.
When you're going through difficult times at home, does the show, does your crazy work life create a refuge, or does it provide a kind of odd contradiction?
It's an odd contradiction. I'm very comfortable at work. I've been going there for 27 years. I love going to work. When I go home, though, it's very different. I coach my kids' local football team and local baseball team, and I love being a suburban dad when I'm not being the nut on the show.
You work closely with this guy, Howard Stern, the king of all media. At work, he is outrageous. He is offensive. He is out of his mind. Do you want to blow his secret, or do you want me to?
Well, I think we were both talking about it before. I wrote an acknowledgement to him in the book, and I said that a lot of people don't know the real guy. If you're just going to, most of the people that have the worst things to say about him are the people that have not listened to the show. It's not just strippers and porn stars. We've helped in governors' races. We've had Mickey Mantle, Arnold Schwarzenegger, JFK Jr.
But not even on the air, and he is a great interview, but not even on the air. I think what people need to know, and I'm not even sure Howard wants them to know, he's pretty shy. He is sensitive, thoughtful, incredibly intelligent, and I think you would agree he's a very kind guy as well.
Very kind to people, and you're probably right. He probably doesn't want us talking about this. He doesn't mind.
It doesn't help the act all that much.
Yeah, but he is. He's a great guy. And I always say, people say, how do you take all that abuse? I've been with the show for 27 years. If we didn't love each other, it would be just torture to be there every day. There's love.
You don't deserve the abuse you get, except on occasions. I want to show a picture here. This is a video of you throwing out the first pitch at a baseball game. I wanted people to see that. What went wrong there?
What didn't go wrong? First of all, it's not only that the pitch went so far to the right, it's that I look so bad throwing it.
I mean, yeah, and let me show you my co-host Meredith throwing out a pitch at a Red Sox game, just for comparison. I mean, that's within the strike zone.
Yeah, no, I get it. If you try to let me know it was a bad pitch, I'm well aware.
Yeah, you've heard about that before, haven't you?
Yeah.
On more than one occasion. Gary, it's interesting, and it's a great book, and it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
My best to all your folks over at Howard Stern Show.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
Gary Dell'abate. The book is called They Call Me Baba Booey, and we're back right after these messages and your local news and weather.
Well done. Thank you, man. That's great. It's very fun to talk about.